are very nutritionally depleted, we're very toxic, and our bodies can only handle so much environmental pollution before it starts to break down. So let's talk a little bit about what doctors are seeing across the country right now.
You know, my office practice is booming, but it's actually quite sad to see so much illness and disease out there.
I'm going to take a look at the left, the middle, and I'll be able to see your surgical site inside. I'll probably take some pictures. If I see anything abnormal, I'll take some biopsies.
This is a huge crisis in this country, and it's so sad that our children need to see rheumatologists, infectious disease specialists, endocrinologists, pulmonologists, cardiologists, GI specialists. It's not like years ago when the kids went to see the family practitioner. Kids are sick. We're in a pediatric crisis, and they need these subspecialists to care for them. Why is this happening? Well, there's undeniable evidence out there linking toxins, chemicals, poisons to disease and illness. And so you don't have to take my word for it. You can do the due diligence that I've done and do your research, and you will find loads and loads of information out there absolutely documenting what I'm going to talk about this evening.
When I went to medical school, it was 1 year of learning pharmacy. I mean, learning the drugs, learning their side effects, how to prescribe them, when to prescribe them. And so last year in this country, 2.8 billion prescriptions were prescribed by health professionals. I mean, that's a staggering amount. And on average, when an adult patient walks into my office, they can be on anywhere from 5 to 11 pharmaceuticals. But a lot of drugs out there will cover up the symptoms. Not a lot of physicians will sit with the patient and describe a good nutritional system or a good nutritional program to, prevent them from going on a medication. And I tend to do the opposite. I will sit with the patient and say, let's talk about nutrition. When patients come in, it's very easy to address the issue of weight because about 81% of America is dealing with weight issues. And I tend not to shy away from that. I mean, if people come in and say, I have reflux, or I have all these intestinal issues, or I can't stand it, my insulin requirements are so high, or my blood pressure medications, now I have 3 instead of 2, and I'll talk to them, have you thought about the issue with your weight? And especially the young ones, it's like, we need to address this now. You've got a long life ahead of you, and it should be a long life without doctors, and without hospitals, and pharmaceuticals. So I'm very open with my patients, and actually they're very receptive. I usually don't have people that get upset with this type of discussion. I think they're waiting for a health professional to sit down and potentially just get in their face and say, let's talk about the issues at hand. We need to get that weight off so we can take your health to the next level so you can have a better quality of life.
And let's talk about what toxins are. I mean, in my practice, I see a lot of irritable bowel, gas, bloating, the abdominal distension, feel uncomfortable, constipation one day, diarrhea the next, don't feel well after you eat something as simple as a salad. Look what goes into our bodies. Preservatives, pesticides, insecticides. On average in this country, 72 insecticides and pesticides on our fruits and vegetables. Pesticides are part of the food chain. We are ingesting them regularly. What do you think that does to our insides? Think about the water that we're exposed to. Our drinking water polluted with heavy metals, parasites, bacteria, and you may drink filtered water, but you may not bathe in filtered water. Remember, your skin is the largest organ of your body and very porous. What about the air we breathe? I mean, just think about all these things, very common sense. What about what we do to our meats? Hormone injections, steroid injections, factory farming. The animals, we want them beefier. We want them to produce more milk. They get sick, we give them antibiotics, and then they say, eat fish because it's good for you, and the fish has mercury in it. Look at our soils in this country. So many of our soil bases across the country have been over-farmed, and you're not repleting them with all the good nutrients and the microbes. So what's happening is our foods are nutritionally bankrupt. We become nutritionally bankrupt. Our foods need to be fortified. Ever go to the grocery store and notice how everything is fortified? The foods are dead. You have to give them nutrition nowadays. And when fruits and vegetables grow from soils that are depleted, they only have 40% of their nutrient value that they did in the 1940s, when the grounds were more repleted with all the good nutrients that we need. Well, look what's happening to us. Last year, USA Today in September released statistics that were staggering. 81% of our population is overweight, 31% meet the criteria for obesity, but the sad statistic is that 18 million children in this country are obese. 90% of diabetes is type 2 in this country, lifestyle disease, 18 million people with diabetes. Well, why in this country do we gain weight? There's so many reasons. We eat too much, we eat the wrong foods, we don't exercise enough, we're stressed to the max. What do chemicals and toxins have to do with gaining weight? Did you know that when toxins enter our body's natural mechanism is to produce fat cells? That's a protectant mechanism our body goes through.
every year when certain patients would come in to the office, they were either gaining more weight or they had more illness, in their life, and they had more medications to tell me about and more doctors they were seeing and all these hospitalizations they had since the last time they came to visit. And it's hard for me to continue to prescribe more meds and more meds and more meds. So I started to look into nutrition and nutritional supplementation and exercise as options for my patients to try to get their health back without just adding on more drugs. And I do a lot of colonoscopies. You have to go through a preparation to clean the colon out before I take a look at your colon. And I noticed over the years when people did colon cleanses, a lot of times, whether it was a day after the procedure or a week or a month later, people reported really good health results in general. They felt better energy-wise, or some of their intestinal issues were declining, or even their skin cleared up. I just noticed that even cleansing on the level of just a colon cleanse seemed to help my patients.
I have just presented a range of problems facing our health today. While no one product can single-handedly remedy these problems, it is imperative that you do something to improve and support your health. And what I love about what I'm going to talk to you about this evening, this is a technology that's about replenishing the body and rejuvenating the body and cleansing the body. And I started to introduce this program to my friends, to my family, to my patients about 14 months ago. And I've been able to improve people's health over the past 14 months more than I've accomplished over the prior 10 years.
By accident, my husband and I were introduced to Isogenics, a friend of ours who mentioned cleansing, but on an internal level. And I thought, now that's fabulous. I mean, to cellularly or internally cleanse your body, what would that do for you? I mean, if just cleaning out the colon made people feel better, what would it do for patients to clean the whole body out? The Isogenics technology, in my professional opinion, is the best nutritional system out there for addressing optimum health. But it's not the miracle. I mean, the miracle is right here. I mean, it's the body. But how can the body perform as the miracle if it's clogged? I mean, we were naturally built to be detoxifiers of our own system. I mean, we have a liver and a colon and different areas in the body that will help flush toxins, like the kidneys. If the liver is clogged, we don't feel well. If the kidneys aren't functioning, we don't feel well. If the kidneys shut down, you need a machine to do what the kidneys would do. The patients that have entered into the Isogenics health system program, I've seen wonderful results. I mean, I can tell when a patient walks into my office if they're cleansing. They just have a different look to them. They look revitalized, their skin color is different, their hair is healthier, their nails are healthier, they talk differently. I mean, it's wonderful. I can tell who feels better and who's looking younger.
This is John Anderson. He formulated the products. He's been in the product formulation industry for 25 years. And then he retired, and he came out of retirement to create Isogenics, and then he took it to 500 people, and he couldn't believe the results. And it's grown from there.
He has tremendous background in the world of formulation of nutritional products. I mean, he understands the issue of mineral depletion in our grounds and then mineral depletion in our bodies. He understands that. He understands the need that we need more protein in our bodies, and we need to develop more lean muscle, and we need to strengthen our immune systems. And he's traveled worldwide understanding the issue of cleansing. So many people have had phenomenal life-changing results that the people telling people has spread the word of Isogenics across this country very rapidly. I mean, here's a company that's shattering industry records and will continue to shatter industry records because John's always thinking. He's always introducing new products. He's always just on the verge of another cutting-edge approach to nutrition, cleansing, and taking your health to the next level.
And I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure your kids are getting adequate minerals and amino acids and vitamins and protein into those little bodies every single day. Now, what does that tell you? What it tells me is that these little brains don't have the good brain chemistry because they're missing the minerals, they're missing the proteins, they're missing the vitamins.
And we actually have a wonderful story here in Tucson, a 15-year-old boy who was obese, and his grandmother introduced him to Isogenics, and after getting on the system, in 8 months he had dropped 115 pounds. And here's a boy that initially wasn't playing sports. He was very fatigued. He was also dealing with issues of kids, making fun of him in school. And his grandma, in my opinion, saved his life, changed his life for the better. It just looks amazing. He smiles, he's happy, he's healthy, he's got this great future ahead of him.
So when I go out and share this with everyone, because I do every day, I'm so passionate about this program, I talk to everyone as a family. Make it a lifestyle. Get healthy together. And for people that you love, share this with them. This is the best gift you could ever give anyone. Did you know that both these authors had life-changing results on this program? They are not paid by the company to endorse this system, but they've written books on this program. Jack Canfield wrote 2 books, Chicken Soup for the Healthy Soul, 1 and 2, all about isogenics. And John Gray's most recent book, The Venus and Mars Diet and Exercise Solution, the 2nd chapter is about isogenics and how it positively impacts the brain chemistry.
I've saved and changed lives over the past 11 years in my practice, and I love medicine. But since introducing the technology, the isogenics technology into the office, I've seen more lives change for the better over the past 14 months than I have seen it in 11 years. So it's amazing to get phone calls and emails and letters. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for helping my family on a nutritional level. Thank you for allowing me to get my health back to a level where I can come off some of my medications. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, that's what makes me tick. All you do is introduce them to isogenics and say, take a chance, get on the program, see what it can do for you. Look what it did for me. Look what it did for my family. Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, if you had tremendous results, why wouldn't you share that with people that you care about? What more can you ask for in terms of, a goal in life, but to affect change in America on such an incredible level?